This is the business news on WAVE FM91.7 Port Harcourt. I am Excel Uwaezuoke. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has purchased 2 cargo of crude oil from the United Arab Emirates, marking its first ever procurement of Middle Eastern crude as it expands its feedstock sources amid persistent domestic supply constraints. According to a report by S&P Global Commodity Insights, the 2 cargo will be the first sourced by the 700,000 barrels per day refinery from any Middle Eastern supplier, signaling a shift from its traditional reliance on Nigerian, African, and United States crude grades. The report said the purchases followed the resumption of oil exports from the Middle East after the United States and Iran reached an interim peace agreement that restored confidence in shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Nigeria exported an estimated 148.9 million barrels of crude oil valued at about 20.22 trillion naira in the first 5 months of 2026, showcasing the scale of the country's oil trade despite persistent concerns over production levels. The crude barrels were exported by both international and indigenous oil companies, including the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. While the export of crude oil may lead to a lack of sufficient domestic feedstock for Dangote Petroleum Refinery and other local refiners, it boosts the country's foreign exchange earnings. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission (FCCPC) has warned oil marketers against exploiting consumers, saying the current retail prices of petrol do not reflect the sharp decline in global crude oil prices. In a statement issued, the Commission said its ongoing surveillance of the downstream petroleum sector had uncovered indications of consumer exploitation. According to the FCCPC, global crude oil prices have dropped to about $73 per barrel, following the ceasefire between the United States and Iran and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. The agency noted that crude prices had climbed to about $120 per barrel at the height of tensions in the Middle East between April and May, prompting a swift increase in petrol pump prices across Nigeria. On the foreign scene, South Korea has unveiled plans for about $1 trillion of investments to build out the country's chip manufacturing and artificial intelligence capabilities in the coming years. And it is part of the country's so-called 3 mega projects to develop new chip production hubs, data centers, and robotics technology. President Lee Jae-myung said the plan is aimed at rejuvenating the economies of areas outside the capital, Seoul. On the foreign exchange market, one US dollar traded for 1,390 naira at the parallel market, while the British pound stood for 1,880 naira. Meanwhile, 1 euro traded 1,588 naira at the same platform. Moving on to the crude oil market, a barrel of Brent crude similar to Nigeria's Bonny Light traded for $73.28, an increase of 68 cents or 1%. Similarly, the West Texas Intermediate sold for $70.19, an increase of 96 cents, an appreciation of 1.4%. And that's business news on Daybreak Nigeria this morning, compiled by Ayo Dungaru. You can also listen to us on WaveFM917.com for pictures and stories on the news. Follow us on Facebook and X at 917WaveFM and at Wave917FM on Instagram and Threads. Remember, Nigeria is our only country. We should join hands to make it great. I am Excel Uwaezuoke. Good morning and thank you.